Hello, my name is Demo. Welcome back to Dexcom2. This is the final map made by Inferno, I think. And this start is, this is the hardest part of the map in my opinion. It's really tricky to just kind of keep moving around, dodging archvile fire. It's really tedious as well. You'll die a lot here at the start, like I did for most of my attempts. This map is interesting as well, because I think it is veteran in the sense. I think this start is probably jaded, I can't lie. It's really difficult, and it's pretty tedious kind of to just, move around a lot and try and kill the archviles at the same time with lost souls floating around. That bit is really tricky. It's not only that bit though, there's more to the start as well. I think you'll find that this map, it's really hard to go quick on it because just of the layout and how the fights are. So for this part, what I do is wake those up, I then go around and I just kind of wake everything up, then try and push through the revenants and the pale metals and grab the chain gun. And I kind of just camp here. A lot of the time, the Erectrotrons will kind of just, they won't really infight until you make them infight, so you'll have to go back there and kind of sort that out, but at the moment, you're cornered by a ton of revenants with just an SSG. I don't have a lot of ammo in this part. Oh yeah, there's two archviles as well that spawned in the starting room, just so, you can't camp there for a lot of time. It's really cruel, but, I managed to do it, so I can't really complain. So yeah, as you can see, the Arachnotrons, they kind of just, they don't really infight unless, the Hell Knight projectiles hit them, which you will have to encourage somehow. And here, yeah, I'm just kind of playing cat and mouse with the red fireballs. It's a really tedious start, as I've said multiple times. Really good map though. I think this is probably like one of the more fun veteran maps I've played in my opinion. Like the start is really slow, but when you kind of progress in the map, it gets better and better. And yeah, the final fight is just, chef's kiss. Like, it's really good. Anyway, so yeah, here just again camp out the pillar. It's really hard to kind of commentate on this map, especially with the pacing it's going at, but I guess it's a bit easier so I can take my time with things, because like usually I go so quick. This demo was really slow. I think it's the slowest one compared to the other demos, not by much though, like only by sort of just under a minute I think, so it's not too bad. And yeah, here I was really just risky and decided to try and get the Arachnotrons to invite early. I punched that Revenant because I've got no ammo, and yeah, I just kind of let infighting happen. So I'm probably going to skip this bit because it's literally just, encouraging the Hell Knights to hit the Arachnotrons, and you don't want to see that for the rest of the demo. So yeah, when I get to a certain point, there we go, I'll just start skipping it. And yeah, this is basically what I do for most of the first bit. I just neutralize the this area just by getting the Arachnotrons to invite with the Hell Knights. And it does take a while. Sometimes the Arachnotrons, they all kind of just, they tend to die first before the Hell Knights, but sometimes in other cases, in one case actually, like sort of, well, it wasn't this attempt clearly, but in another case, the Hell Knights kind of just, they all died and the Arachnotrons were really the only ones left, which is unusual because, like, whilst, the Arachnotrons constantly fire, the Hell Knight projectiles do, I think, more damage. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. You'll have to fact check me on that, but there's a lot more Hell Knights as well, and I guess the damage kind of stacks up. So once you get past that bit, you hit a switch, kill the Magivus, get, I believe it's the rocket launcher, and you kind of want to use rockets pretty carefully at the start. You do get a lot, but if you do use all of them, it then makes the sort of next fights just really hard. So yeah, it's all about kind of planning how you approach the fights and how, like, careful you are about it. You get a lot of SSG sort of shells, so use those, as much as you want, but careful with the rockets. So I kill the archvile there. I also kill the other archvile that spawned in, because going through that area then becomes a pain, and it's a lot easier when you kind of just get rid of it. And then once I've done that, which Yep, I do here. I jump down as well because the Macubai are just super aggressive. They'll snipe you down and, you know, they do a lot of damage in their fireballs, so it's not ideal. But what I do in this bit is, I took this from another demo, actually, because this is the only sort of map where I watched other demos in order to sort of recreate this, because I was just kind of like, this map is hard, I may as well try and see what strategies there are rather than come up with my own. And yeah, this is one of them, was to kill the Hell Knights there, because you're going to be spending a lot of time in that corner on the next fight, which you'll see in a bit, so... Yep, I rocket the Hell Knights here. Use the rest of my chain gun ammo because, you know, why not? You have that at your disposal. And then I trigger this fight. Now, you can open this door to get out, which is ideal, but then that wall lowers. So, this is why you go in this corner. It's the furthest away from the Revenants, and you won't get easily overwhelmed, you know, if you just kind of spam rockets. Because, I don't know what it is to... Like, I don't know what it is. I feel like it's something to do with the geometry in the map, where just it thins itself out, and then the Revenants, they kind of will cluster up, and you can just, you know, kill them all with splash damage a bit quicker. So, I think that's kind of how it works. There's a few Pain Elementals too. You don't have to worry about them too much. You can just kind of go around SSG them. The Lost Souls are like the least of your problems here. It's more the Revenants and getting overwhelmed by just the amount of, you know, Kakadu. It's more the Revenants than anything, because they're going to be the ones chasing after you and overwhelming you and just doing the most damage. And whilst, yeah, the Lost Souls are annoying, they're not too bad. I've never really had any issues with them. Really, it's only at the start where I've been, like, troubled by it all. So, yeah, here I kind of just run about, SSG anything that kind of gets in the way, and yeah, really it's just repeating that. You get a lot of health here, so, you know, you can take a bit of damage, but just, you know, don't plunge yourself, obviously, into the crowds, because, yeah, you'll just die quickly. Again, this is a hard map to go quick on. You can probably go quick on this, but the amount of RNG needed to have a quick run would just be awful. I don't know. I still think this is a really good map though. Anyway, I now have kind of, there's enough room for me to kill those Revenants, so I then go ahead and do that. The Macubai just, I think they died to infighting actually. I think the Revenants and the Gakkers just killed them. So yeah, I just move about here because I really don't want to be hit. And I do play very cautiously here just because I do really want to beat this map and I'm not too worried about time. It's kind of a rare sighting, I can't lie. Usually I don't play cautiously. I play like some of the most aggressive strats at times. But this time, yeah, I play really cautiously because this map is... I just don't want to go through the start again. Like, once you're this far, the map is very beatable. It actually gets a bit easier, but I think the fights as well get more fun too. This is the part where, like, the fights, you know, they start to kind of show themselves a bit more, and it's a bit more fun. Like, I enjoy it more. And you'll see once I kill all these sort of Hell Knights. Now, this is the part where I get, like, really, you know, stuck on what path to take. Usually I go for the Spider Mastermind path first, but I think for this one I decide, you know, I don't have a lot of rockets. I may have used them to, you know, I forgot what the word was, god damn it. I may have used them, you know, or overused them rather, and yeah, at that point I may as well just grab the rockets there just to be safe, and that is basically what I do. So I'm debating how to kill the Macubai. I'm just like, I'll get more ammo when I go down on one of the fights, so I'll worry about it later. And here we are. This is the first, you know, fight that is really fun. So you drop down here, grab the armor, you open this, or rather you lower it, which reveals 2 archfiles. Another one is hiding right at the back, and it's kind of RNG, I suppose. You know, you can kill the enemies, but you might not have enough firepower to reach the archfile. Sometimes it just likes to hang out in the back, but a lot of times, you know, it will not really kind of like infight, rather just, you know, move forward or just resurrect things that are like infighting at the back. It's a really chaotic fight, but it's not... I've not usually had problems with it. I think I've only died here, like... I think I've got to this point 3 times before, within the, within, like, this map, kind of practicing it wise, and... Sorry, I'm not making much sense. But, yeah, so... I've only died to that fight once, and that was, like, the furthest I got him before, you know, getting the exit. And the other time was at this fight that I'm going to right now. I just killed the stragglers, because, you know, they'll be annoying sniping me, kind of, whilst I'm participating in that fight. And I then just dropped down, grabbed the shells, and yeah, now I'm at full ammo, which is kind of what you need for this fight in terms of SSG. So here, again, it's a little RNG. You kind of just have to hope that the Kakos infight well, and in my case, they really do. I got very lucky with this. So yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out here. I do wait a bit for some reason to fire my rockets. I probably should have done so a bit earlier, but it's not a big deal. I still do win the fight, so I can't really complain. And yeah, I basically do it now. So all those Cacodemons at the back, they'll just, you know, they'll die to the rockets. And maybe the infighting as well, although I'm pretty sure the Mastermind does just die. If you can hear it, well, there we go, yeah. And then, you know, you get a huge cloud of Cacos coming towards you, which isn't ideal, but you gotta just hope that the Mancubi fireballs as well, you know, take them out, and a lot of the time they do. You'll be quite surprised. I don't usually have trouble with this fight, but it can go horribly wrong at times. Especially, like, when I've been practicing, at times, yeah, it's gone horribly wrong. But, yeah, that's really this fight. You don't really have to worry about falling off. You won't do it a lot. It's like the platforms are quite big, so you'll be fine. And yeah, I've cleaned up everything, so now I just have the Mancubi, and you know, you can just use chain gun for that, which is what I do. Or if you have remaining rockets, then use that too. They'll most likely be low on health, because like, they've been busy infighting and stuff. Yeah, it's a good fight, but we've got one more fight to dispose of. 217 is the lucky number here. If you have any, like, you know, anything under that, then you're missing a few kills and you gotta go back. I don't know if you can backtrack in this map. I don't think you can. So you drop down here, and this is the final fight. This fight is incredible. I really like it. It's my favorite fight, and it teaches you a lot about kind of, you know, crowd control. So you open this door and you've got a rev hallway. So what you want to do, and what I personally do, I found like a really consistent strat for this, is you want to try and move them towards the center of the kind of the Y shape. And the reason why you do that is just because you get a bit more space to move around. They're going to clog up that side of the Y, whereas you've got, if you kind of keep them in the middle, you've got the two other sides that you can stick to. Not only that, but they'll just die really quick to splash damage, like so. If you get low on health, you've got the other Megasphere. And when you get to this bit, you kind of just want to try and pump as many rockets into them as you can, and once they start to move towards the middle, you then want to kind of just stick to one side of the Y, like I do here. I stick to this side personally because, you know, it's got a bit of a guideline with the pocket where the rockets were. And I just kind of fire rockets until I'm low, and once you go around them, or are able to go around them, which is most of the time if you stick to one side, you've beaten the fight and you've won the map. Oh, also, editing mistake here from Inferno. This should be damaging 4, but it does change things. And I think he did a bit that when I was playing the map, sort of on stream. So, yeah, this fight is really good. I really like it. It teaches you a lot about kind of crowd control and stuff if you're not familiar with it. And honestly, it's good practice. So, you get this bit with the Archfathers, but it's kind of a joke. You can just camp out here and kill them with rockets, and you probably won't get splashed like with the fire. And that's it. That's Red Nightmare 7 Bowser's Castle. Interesting title. Yeah, but it's a really good map. I really enjoyed it. This Dexcom was very interesting. I'm actually glad that I managed to beat all 3 maps for it. Credits to everyone who mapped for this. They done like brilliant jobs, really. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video whenever I do that.